Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives you?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gold Jacket, Green Jacket podcast. We're here for episode number 65. My name's Christian Dragonetti, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friend and Australian PJ professional, Mr. Joel Mitchell. Joel, mate, how you doing?
Cruising, mate. We're just in the midst of prepping for events and getting underway, and
it's the calm before the storm, isn't it, for you?
sort of.
Because
Now it's sort of put
you've
their
had
head down
a
bit.
couple of schedule changes, which is not fun, but
No,
you come across these things, and you're about to jet off and head over to WA in a week or two's time, and Queensland after that, I'm sure, and
Something like that.
You know, we discussed it plenty with Raptor when he was in.
It's more or less going and playing everything I can and get into, and then
Just start building up some points, mate.
just try and make the most of what I sort of worked for,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, this is it. This is the grind.
This is where it starts.
I hate to tell you, this is what you wanted.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining about that at all. It's
Nah.
exactly what I wanted to aim for. It's like, and so now after Q school, it's sort of not. I'm not saying I can breathe now, which I can't,
No.
but at least the hardest 2 weeks of my life is now. Okay, got through that. Beautiful. Now let's make it worth it. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
absolutely.
So, yeah, now it's all preparation for that.
We're a little bit tired. Let's just say that. Let's get that off the.
Well,
off-
it's Saturday at the moment.
It's a Saturday
so-
afternoon. We've literally walked off golf courses maybe a few hours ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I suppose we better get into recent rounds, mate. How'd you go?
We'll just go straight into it. Today was a really weird one.
Tell me about it.
Today was a weird one. The score wasn't too bad. I had a couple under, so I had 2 under, 69. So not disappointed with that.
Never.
Not overly thrilled with it, like not over the moon about it, but it was one of those ones where you don't hit it often. When I say you don't hit it often, I mean like the scoring's good, but like every golf shot you hit was like,
Yeah.
like close.
Yeah.
Like close. It was almost good.
Yeah.
But it still ends up in a good enough spot. You know what I mean? So like off the tee, it was like a bit sort of would hit a good one and then 2 sort of like, it was a bit ordinary. It found in a decent enough spot, but, you know, it wasn't that amazing. And then, you know, play one hole where it's like, oh, there it is. And then the next hole is just like, that wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Like, and so, yeah, I scrapped in a couple under. Like I turned even par after making bogey up 9, which almost turned me inside out.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, birdied like 14, 15. I saw a putt go in on 15. And I'm like, surely I can like birdie like the last 3 in a row or something like that. Or birdie the last 5 to have a satisfactory score, and made a bit of a mess of everything.
Yeah,
sort of
right.
Part in, but what do you do? It's like, I think it's like my 6th, according to, I had a look at my golf link for the first time in a little bit,
Yeah.
a few weeks this morning. And it's like my 6th or 7th round in a row under 70. So
Okay.
I'll take that.
According to that. Yeah.
According to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, good.
With respect to that. So I'll take it. Yeah, golf's all right. So
Golf's good.
Just sort of cruising around. Oh my God, I was cold this morning.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
Anyway, and you?
Yeah. No, very cold. I don't think I felt anything in my hands, my toes, until maybe the 8th hole today. It was horrible.
Yeah, it sucked.
No, we had medalist medal today, and so it was shotgun start, which made it even worse. So we were teeing off at 7:30 in the morning,
Yuck.
in the cold of the cold, and like I said, I genuinely couldn't feel anything for a good few holes, and the swing was not robust. It was very rigid and stiff and handsy and not fun.
And ow.
And toe and heel and thin and fat and
Shake it all about.
yeah, correct. What did I had 81 off the stick, which is net 76 or something.
Just meh.
Just meh. I'm a little bit upset. I was just explaining to you off air. We played around on Monday at Heidelberg, you and I.
Yeah.
And then we record. So the day that we recorded last week's episode. Yes.
Yeah.
Because
yesterday at the time of recording.
we went
now.
straight and recorded straight away.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's better.
the day we recorded last week's episode,
Yeah.
and we played that morning, and I had 37 points, but then found out a couple of days later that it wasn't going to go through to GA.
I said that I said that this morning. That
you
morning.
said all you had told me that day was that Todd said it's not going through. I'm like,
Yeah.
bullshit. Why isn't it going through?
you said, no, it has to
no
go
one
through.
gave me a legitimate reason, but because we played 15 holes, apparently 16 is the threshold. If you play
right.
if you play 16 or more holes, it'll go through as a GA like scored round.
Oh, there you go.
If you play less, it doesn't. So I've had 37 points, even though we played 15 holes.
Yeah,
right?
with
the-
three little sort of
three
shoe-ins.
three free 2-pointers. And thought, oh, golden. And I had a flag dropping off that day
Yeah.
as well. Supposed to,
But to give you the benefit of the doubt, the 2 out of the 3 holes that we didn't play were par 5s.
yeah,
That's why I was sort of like, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh well, what do you do? But still, like, come on,
Yeah.
there's 2 shots I could have got back there.
absolutely.
But what do you do?
no. Fast forward to today, and I don't know what it was. Like the body felt odd. I've been flat out at work this week. It was just one of those meh days. I take nothing away. I'm not reading anything into it. I putted well.
Cold doesn't help. But
I
it's
putted
also,
well.
what
I
do you
chipped
do?
well. The short game was good. Like there was some glimpses.
Yeah.
I've got a game on Monday. Playing on Monday. I got an RDO. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go out a little bit because the flag drops off and I don't replace it. So I think it might go to like 4.9, maybe 5.1 at the most. And I'm like, all right, cool, that's fine. I'll just go get it back on Monday. I got like 6 free slaps now, which is
I was going to say your last 12 rounds would have been pretty solid, so you would have been coming in a bit.
chewed up a lot of flags in the last few rounds. So
I think I actually had a look at it as well. My last like 4 rounds, I think, like 4 out of my last like 7 rounds are flagged, and I haven't moved
yeah, cool.
or something. It's something like that.
What was it you were saying the
It's
other
such
day?
a weird,
when
like
we-
my last
after-
10 rounds. So hang on, my last 11 rounds is 68, 67, 68, 68, 71, 70.
Yeah.
63, 69, 70, 67, 66. And since that 11 round, I've gone out 0.3. How weird's a handicap
It's
system,
so
dude?
weird.
How weird
Didn't
is
you
it?
say the other day after,
what did you do?
after we played on Monday,
What
didn't
did
you
you
say
do?
the comment of that now I'm officially closer to scratch than you are? Because the long-standing joke was
You are
that
today,
you
yeah.
were closer to scratch than I was,
No,
even though you're a plus marker.
Yeah.
Because I was floating around the 6 and 7s and 8s.
No. Well, the original like shit talk is like I say to Raptor.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're closer to scratch than me.
Yeah.
Because he was like off like 3.2
Yeah,
or something
correct.
like that. So that was the original sort of thing because I was, 4.5
Yeah.
shots out the other side sort of thing. So
Correct.
now.
What's-
I'm
I think you're still closer.
I'm still closer.
I think you're still closer.
So your aim was to get closer to scratch than me.
Yeah, correct.
That's been your aim in the
That's been
running
my goal.
joke, and you're almost like I am closer, like almost.
yeah, correct.
Close. It's close.
Nah, look, it's just it's a weird one because, it's one thing.
Here we go. What?
I don't know if he listens, so I need to be careful about what I say.
Okay, don't name names then.
All right, I won't. But he's as soon as because it happened today. If he listens, and right anyway, pace of play, severe issues, right?
Like, are they?
So
Is
the story
said
with-
playing partner aware of this, or do they just?
I've made said playing partner aware of this in previous instances that I've played with said playing partner, and it's gotten longer. Yeah.
Is it?
So so the story goes, we'd teed off on 5, shotgun start. So we finished on 4. By the time we get to 4 green, Angus Turner, Nathan Anderson, and Jack Andrew are sitting on the balcony having a beer.
Yeah, or probably their third.
Yeah, I think it was right. They were. The comment was, "We're going to get tanked and then go vote." It is election day.
Shit!
Okay, don't worry. We'll talk about it later. You're not missing much.
All right, let's wrap it up. Yeah, let's go. Where's the nearest to here?
You're not going to get there in time.
Oh, betcha.
We'll figure it out.
God. Oh,
and
God.
so I've said
Yeah.
person is having a putt, and I've looked up to the balcony, and I've just gone like this to Jack Andrew. I've like, watch him time, and like a good amount of time passes, and I look back at Jack, and he's just like,
oh no.
he's just like, what the fuck is going on? So I went and keep it. It was shotgun. So and they'd been there and had 3 beers by this stage. So you'd imagine they've been there for at least 20
They've
minutes.
been there for
right?
yeah.
And we're still out on the course. We all started at the same time. So I get to the clubhouse and have a beer with Jack, and he's just like, yeah, I can see how your day went. And you want to talk about things that become factors for people maybe not playing so well. It was on my mind the whole
it's
day.
all you can think about.
The whole day.
It's the hardest part. It's the hardest part about playing, like trying to play well and trying to play around in golf, especially when, like, the one of the keys to playing well is to not let distractions get to you. But sometimes, like, we're all human. Like, even at the level I'm trying to play at, if I play in a pro-am and I'm not going to say a dud playing partner, but if they're a pain in the ass, they don't shut up, or they're very slow, or they're terrible.
If it's
like
enough
having
to throw
140 shots.
If it's enough to throw you off your rhythm.
Yeah. All it needs to be is like, once it becomes noticeable, and then it starts affecting. If it starts affecting the rest of the group, that's when it literally affects me personally.
I'm
However,
so happy you said this
when
because
it affects the whole group, that's when it affects me. But if I'm just like, they're annoying to me, then oh wow, just deal with it. Just deal with it. Right? They're clearly not. You're just maybe you're just sensitive that day or something. I don't know. Or maybe you're seeing something no one else does. But if it's affecting the entire group, that's when I think there's a bit of leniency to go, okay, that's a factor in the reason why I didn't have the best day.
Absolutely.
Today. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like if
But it wasn't just me.
But there you go.
SGM didn't have a great day, and the other bloke that we play with, Andrew, didn't have a great day. The last 3 weeks that we've played together as a four with Mitch, so Mitch didn't play today. We've all played reasonably well, like very well.
Yeah, things
Right?
And
And so
I'm
blaming Mitch Cooper for today. It's his fault.
Yeah, bugger it. I blame Mitch too.
He wants to pull out and stay home so he can get the house set up for his daughter's first birthday tomorrow.
Get your priorities, Mitch.
Absolutely.
Jesus.
And Michael made the gag. He's like, it's really selfish of his missus to ask him to stay home and help set up.
Of course, Michael.
I'm like, Jesus, man. I'm like, he hasn't missed a Saturday since Millie was born.
Yeah,
and yet the one he does, we give him shit for.
Yeah, exactly. Pull your socks up.
But the thing is, like, it was a genuine factor. We were all struggling as a result of it. We were all noticing it and making and commenting and being like, hey, this is not okay.
Well,
and it just, I've had it way too many times. And the comment was, it ruins your rhythm.
To even branch on that, like I played a pro-am at Axdale, right? And for anyone that has or hasn't played, or for anyone that hasn't played there, if you do get a chance to in the area, it's worth playing. It's out near Bendigo.
Yep.
Right. The greens are rapid quick, or they were that day anyway. But anyway, to complement the topic of convo right now, there was a playing partner. He was a member. Like 40 minutes away, but he was like very close mates with one of the members there that we actually played with for the day.
Oh, cool.
Right?
Okay.
And both very handy golfers, both of very low figure, right? Around that scratch mark, which is great, which I was relieved with. We're like, beautiful, we have some good golfers. This is awesome. But like possibly the most obnoxious and like whether it's intentional or not.
Dickhead factor.
Just flat out, like not dickhead, just obnoxious and extremely like
extra over the top.
Yeah, just no awareness of us maybe not interacting with a conversation with him.
Kind of
all he did was
main
just
character,
yap on.
main character energy.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And for the first like 12 holes, I'm just like, just do it. Just not even do it.
I've never met him. I don't want to play with him ever again.
No. Like he was a nice guy.
That's the same thing that happened today.
Extremely hard to play in a round with, especially when it was at a level of me. Like I'm trying to play today, mate. Like it's not just a hit and giggle where I'm going to give you where I'm going to give you the same energy back because I'm trying to lock in here. And I think I explained this last episode.
You did,
but it's like that sort of factor. It's like it wasn't just me. There was one of the other pros I was playing with, and even his caddy was looking at me like. Just like miming, like lip syncing to me, like shut up, like shut up, like saying to this guy, like mate, when are you gonna get the little body language hint from us to stop talking? Right, and like I said, it was through the first like 13 holes that I'd like made like straight pars or something like that, but then it was the comments made on the green that really started. It started building up and getting to me. By the 17th, 18th hole, I'm just like, I'm going to hit him.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit him. And it It was so hard.
Not that you'd ever would.
No.
Let's just get
but
that straight.
Oh, no, you can't.
Of course.
You can't. That's
But
not even.
like,
That's not
just,
even.
You go from that
It's
plateau
just like,
of
oh my god. It's like, come on, like
the lights at the end of the tunnel get me home.
just not even that. It's just like if it was just me being affected by it, Joel, come on, suck it up.
Yeah.
Like you just. It's just.
I get
not-
it.
He's just not your cup of tea. Maybe just deal with it.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was the rest of the room going, like, is he gonna shut up or is he not gonna make a stupid comment or something like that? So anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was to compliment what you were saying.
Yeah, we had one of those a couple of weeks ago as well, where he just had something to say for everything. Now, and so much so that when Mitch turns to me and goes, "Drags, you talk a lot, but this bloke fucking puts you to shame." Right? I'm like, oh yeah,
Like,
okay, so I'm not the only one noticing.
You're not bad, but you don't talk utter dribble.
Nah.
You know what I mean? And you know when
I'm also-
you know when it's time to shut up.
When
too.
I'm in my own world when I play golf, like, you know, I'll be walking down fairways singing songs and shit and just yapping, and it's
Yeah.
half to distract myself away from being nervous or angry or pissed off, whatever it might be. But the other half of it is I'm just kind of enjoying myself,
Yeah,
and
you just
I'm just living the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Mitch turns to me and goes, "No, I've played with you now for 2.5 years."
Mitch is not bad. He's a
Mitch can chirp.
professional.
Mitch can chirp.
He's not bad.
Right? He gets paid well to talk, right? He's on good money. And he turns to me and goes, you chirp.
Yeah.
He's like, "But old mate
Oh my god.
puts you to shame." So
Far out.
it's definitely
Just
winter.
little factors, yeah.
It's definitely coming into winter. We're doing a lot of complaining. We're getting it out early. We've had a brilliant summer.
We have actually.
Brilliant
actually.
summer.
We have.
We've played heaps of good golf.
have.
We've played plenty of late night
It has
practices.
been a generous
It's
summer,
been
hasn't it?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I said it last week that I went the early crow and we copped 2 weeks of 30 degrees in April.
Yeah, true.
Right? It's now the
Well,
third.
this morning was one of the first times I've actually noticed. I'm like, whoa, it's cold.
Well, I let the dog out for a wee this morning, right? And I'm like, oh, fog delay.
Dog went stale.
Possible fog delay. I'm like, welcome to winter. It's here, right? Hitting balls on the range and there's ice on the mats in the range. I'm just like, oh, cool.
Balls go.
Yeah, legit going nowhere.
Oh god.
But Jolly, we were umming and ahhing just before we started recording today about what we were actually going to discuss.
Well,
And you kind of had some things that you wanted to get off your chest.
it completely all it really so how it sort of came up was just relating to. I'm not going to say specifically, but it definitely, like, today's round sparked something for me to be annoyed about, and which we'll branch on in a sec. But and then you're like, hang on, how about?
So I've been thinking a lot about segments that we could bring in or bring back and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And one that I've been sort of flirting with is sort of like, if you were either the president of golf or writing to the president of golf to ask for something to be changed, or you wanted to change it yourself,
Yeah.
how could we go about making that a segment? And it's kind of like pet peeves.
So do you mean like
Right.
if like the president of a golf club of golf?
No, of the sport.
Oh,
Not the PGA, not the RNA.
just golf.
One bloke is in charge of the golf, like all golf, every level, every course,
So it's almost like a fictional thing.
Correct.
But
It's so fictional.
It's still
all fictional. Like, and we're going to call the segment at this early stage. We're going to call it "Dear Mr. President,"
Dear Mister.
right?
I like that.
So we're going to try and phrase it as if we're writing to the president of golf, asking.
Oh,
for
okay.
him, asking.
Okay,
for
so
them.
we're not the president, but we're asking something.
Yeah. Right. So when you bring up a topic or a thing that you've got, you must start it with
Dear
Mr. President. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, if you like this segment, we haven't ever done this before, so if you do like it, let us know. And if you've got any,
Already on the top of my head, there's going to be obvious things that we bring up.
Of course.
Like there's going to be the obvious ones that
Of
we've
course.
probably already brought up in the past.
do you want me to go first? And I'll start us off with an example.
Give us a benchmark.
Dear Mr. President,
I really like this. This is funny.
if you would be ever so kind, could you please change the rules to say that when it is preferred lies, you get preferred lies in the bunker as well?
Okay.
Right? Simple thing. It's a simple change, right? But I feel as though if I'm gonna get to tee it up on the fairway, I shouldn't have to play out of a plug lie in the bunker.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Only in the instance of preferred lies. Now, how do you determine where your
I
ball,
think-
what area you get, right? And we were discussing this sort of off camera. You still get a handspan or a scorecard or whatever it might be. But a preferred lie in the bunker would be you mark your ball somehow, you rake an area, or you just have your marker watch you be in the right, like in the area.
Yeah.
You rake the area that your ball's on, and you get to place it down there.
Maybe
properly.
like a rake width.
A rake width or whatever. You just get one or two little rakes,
Just fluff it
and
up.
then just
and
to
then
fluff it up,
ball.
and, you know, and then you just put your ball in on top. You get one attempt to place your ball back
What circumstance is this?
under preferred lies. So if it
Bunker specific or golf course as well? Or
if the golf course is preferred lies, because at the moment we've got a lot of tree removal at Heidelberg, so we're playing preferred lies, right? And so it's preferred lies through the green, as they call it.
Yeah.
If they change that terminology to through the green and bunkers, that's where I would change it. So you mark it somehow, or you have your marker watch you, because you're going to obviously change your lie.
Of course.
So you get a rake, you get a couple of rakes, right? Quickly fluff up the bunker, place it in the general area that it was originally, play your shot from there. Only under preferred lies conditions. Because how many times have we been in bunkers on a wet, miserable Saturday morning and the rain has packed all the sand down and you've all of a sudden got a really firm, bouncy lie in a bunker? How many times have you hit that, taken a skid out of it and gone, I wish I could have had a chance to rake it first?
So, yeah, sort of. I think if you get rain the night before and it's sort of compacted sand down or whatever it is, it has to be significant. It has to be to the point where the bunker has pulled.
Oh, if it's
something.
if it's underwater, it's GUR.
If it's underwater, it's probably named GUR. But if you get in there and there's a bit of wet sand in there, tough luck. You got to know how to play out of that. However,
dear Mr. President, right?
no, sorry.
I'm asking for the rules to be changed so that when it is preferred lies, we get preferred lies in the bunker too.
Right. No, I got lost then.
Because how many times in a preferred lies do you put your tee in the ground when you're on the fairway, for example, you sweep away a bit of kangaroo shit or whatever, or you pick out a stick and you move it or you throw it away. You're improving the lie anyway. It's preferred lies.
It's also a general area. It's not a
General area.
penalty area.
Correct.
Oh, hazard.
Right? So why can't we move to include bunkers in that?
Because it's not the general area.
I get it.
Yeah, but I understand. That's dear Mr. President.
That's dear Mr. President.
Okay.
You don't have to agree
That's
with
your
me.
dear Mr. President.
That's my first one. Do you want to have a crack at one?
Yeah,
Go.
it relates sort of to yours.
Yeah.
Dear Mr. President. Nah, I can't.
You can't?
Nah, I can. I just got to say it different.
All right.
Dear Mr. President, if you were to be so kind
Yeah.
to please execute every. Nah, I can't. Sorry.
Firing squad.
But just dear Mr. President, if you were to be so kind to somehow, some way, somewhere provide penalties to those that disrespect the golf course in an extreme way.
I like it.
I.e., like I said, walking in and out of a bunker without touching the rake.
Yeah.
The attempt. Right? Or someone has hit a pitching wedge from 110 meters vertical, creating a bomb crater, putting out and walking away.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how you're going to do this, Mr. President. However,
Something
I
needs
would
to be
love
done.
to see how this could be monitored so penalties apply, whether it is just a 2-stroke penalty or something.
For what is classified as simple golf course etiquette.
The fact that it is simple golf course etiquette makes me even more mad.
Yeah.
And I'm going to relate this to a round today, and it's not just today; it's every round and it's everywhere.
Yep.
It's not just at our golf courses; it's everywhere. I've noticed it everywhere, even at the best of the best sandbelts.
Yep.
I've seen it at Kingston Heath before, where I'm playing the first hole, look in the greenside bunker, going, like
No one wants to rake it
like,
today?
It looks like a preschool sandpit where there's been 10 toddlers.
Jaden, take your shoes off before you
where
come inside.
10 toddlers are eating sand, destroying the joint. There's holes. There's little buildings, right? But it's just destroyed by none other than the members or the players that so-called love and pay the subs to the golf course. Anyway, today I raked more bunkers than I went in, and I went in 3 today to play out of, and I raked double that.
Yeah.
That I didn't go in. I didn't had nothing to do with
Just
that bunker, but I
walking-
where went in there, and I'm just like,
Just walked past, saw it, and thought, someone
got-
needs to rake this.
Like, and usually it's everywhere. You see a couple footprints here and there, and where you see a couple footprints here and there, you're like,
okay.
look, it's not worth my time, but there's a couple footprints just on the outer border, boohoo, right? But these were destroyed. And the bunkers looked like the rakes looked like they hadn't moved in days.
Yeah.
Even though the outskirts, it was a Saturday, so the bunkers had been raked by the groundsman, whether it was early that morning or later the night before. I'm assuming that morning.
Yeah.
Right? Because some of them were pure.
Yeah.
Right? And so the outskirts were done. It was all lined. It was perfect, right?
Yeah.
A lot of all the bunker lights that I had were Christmas, right? Which I was rewarded with. But and so that's how I knew it was that morning. And I teed off at 8:30. So I'm not late. I'm within the first sort of 8 groups, let's say, right? And especially on the front 9, the first 1, 2, 5, and 8, I raked all those greenside bunkers. Oh, 2 out of the 3 of those greenside bunkers, because they were just destroyed, and the rakes hadn't moved, right, since the groundsman had touched them that morning.
That's poor.
And so I'm just looking at it, going, "There's no way. Like, there's no way."
The big one for me is
And it's just like
pitch marks in the green. Right?
But that one's a little different because it's a little, and sometimes I can't find mine in different circumstances. But sometimes I'm looking for it, going, I can't find mine. Okay, I'm just going to repair that one anyway.
Yeah, honestly, that's
It's
what I was
like
going to
eye
say.
for an eye.
If you can't find exactly where yours was, and you might not have left one, there's every chance you haven't left one.
Correct.
But if you see one,
Repair it.
the rule should be
Eye for an eye.
whether you've made one or not.
Yeah.
If you see one, you fix one.
Eye for an eye. If you can't
you
find
make
yours,
one-
nor did you make one, repair one.
Yeah.
Just do it. It's simple. You literally lean down for 4 seconds and you go
could be,
tap, 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 bang.
it could literally be the simple rule of if you're putting on that green, you fix one.
So correct. So, dear Mr. President, I would love to see some sort of penalties to those that disrespect it intentionally. Intentionally. Yeah. So when I say intentional, it's complete willful ignorance. It's willful ignorance.
Because you see it.
So I see it sometimes where there's people that hit into a green, and whether they're a beginner or not, it doesn't matter. Sometimes they hit into a green, chatting to all the playing partners. They're looking for someone's ball in a hazard near the green or something like that. And fixing their pitch mark was the least of their worries at that time because they've got something else to sort of figure out within the group. And whether you forget about it or not, it's second nature to us. But for someone that might not just think of it because, 1, they might not hit the green too often, right? But 2, that's not what they're looking for because it's maybe run out 25 feet.
Yeah.
So the pitch mark's way back at the front of the green.
Yeah.
That's a little different. Yes, fix your fucking pitch mark, but that's not willful ignorance. It's just it wasn't on your mind. Whereas if someone walks up and hits a wedge shot and their pitch mark is this far away from their golf ball and they mark their ball, hit their putt and walk away, like, I just want to fucking, right? And it's same with bunkers. If you walk in there and the bunker, you walk over the bunker, over the rake. You step over the rake while you're walking out, creating these massive footprints or a divot in the fairway. I'm shocking with divots in the fairway, man. I'm shocking with that. I've hit a shot from 145 with an 8 iron and created whether it's small or big or not. I literally just step on it and keep walking and don't like. I'm shocking with it sometimes where I just don't. All I need to do is grab a handful of sand.
No one's perfect.
I know, but yeah. So anyway, to sum up, my dear Mr. President, is I want to see penalties applied to those with general
Who
golf
stupidly
course disrespect, like intentional disrespect.
I think people forget that golf courses, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, and I'll say my second one. I got to think of one. People forget that golf courses, whether they are public, semi-private, private golf courses, they're all public areas.
Yeah, generally, yeah.
Right? And public areas in the sense that if you're playing at a private golf club,
Yeah.
you're not the only member playing on that
It's a
golf
common
course.
area. Let's
It's
say
a
that.
common
It's a common
area.
area.
It's a
Yeah.
heavily
You're
trafficked.
not the only one going through that at that
it's
time.
heavy traffic.
Yeah.
It is a public
Yeah.
area
Yeah.
in a sense,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
People forget that there are going to be other people playing, so
Yeah.
they just think, "Oh, it's my golf course."
Yeah,
I
yeah,
play here,
yeah.
Right? It's my round,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
anybody else's.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's annoying.
The sentence of treat it how you would expect, say for example, like a bunker. Leave the bunker how you would expect to walk into it. It screams so loud because people walk in there and see footprints and a splash mark and footprints up the face. And they see that, walk in there and go, I'm not fucking raking it because some dickhead didn't and I was in his footprints, so fuck it. Right? And now all of a sudden it's twice as much
Twice as
damage
bad,
in there.
and then the next bloke
Twice as
shows
bad.
up and he
then it
rakes it.
just snowballs. And then by the time you teeing off at 12:30, you look in the bunker and it seriously
Looks like the Grand Canyon.
it looks horrible.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, the first thing people think of, groundsmen haven't done their job. Right. And now it just Chinese whispers
It
goes out the
cycles.
window.
It cycles.
It's just like, or someone goes, bunkers here are shit. It's like, no, they're not. You peanuts disrespect it. So of course it's shit. Because you don't look after it. Look after the place you pay for.
Yep.
Like,
Dear Mr. President,
Oh, here we go.
if you would be ever so kind to change the stigma around letting or not letting groups play through during comp rounds. So at the moment, there's not a stigma so much. It's just kind of an understanding, right? You book in at 8:30. You got Dave and the boys in front of you. You got John and the boys behind you. That's the order. If Dave and the boys are slow in front of you, tough shit, right? But if they spend 40 minutes looking for Jason's ball, what am I supposed to do? Stand on the tee box and wait. So, dear Mr. President, would you please change it's a stigma, right, around letting people play through. Because when times are desperate, and there's been a few times where I've played comps and I've been waved through and the boys are generous enough to go, boys, we're fucking slow. Right. We'll let you go. Like, you go. Keep
you're
going.
quicker than
Enjoy
us.
it. Enjoy it.
You're
right?
quicker than us.
And they're good enough about it. I think it needs to happen more often because time and time again, you come behind a group that are 1-2 holes behind, and they don't seem to care. Or they'll make the excuse of, the group in front of us are in carts and they're flying, and I'm like, yeah, but they can only play as fast as the group in front of them. So if they're 2 holes ahead of you, it means that everyone else is more than 2 holes ahead of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah.
in that instance, it should be okay and it should be acceptable for a group to turn around and go, boys, do you mind if we actually play through you? We feel like
let's go.
We feel like we could get through a bit quicker.
Yeah.
And they don't have to do it for everyone. They can turn around and say no. But it should be okay for me to ask a group in front rather than yelling at them and going, boys, you're a hole and a half behind, which I do often. I'm not afraid, right? It'd be almost better for me to turn around and go, boys, do you mind if we play through? And that should be okay. What do you think?
There you go.
Take it or leave it?
That's your dear Mr. President, dude.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like,
No thoughts?
there you go. Oh, not really. It's not a dear Mr. President, but I've only been exposed to something working at a golf club. The idea behind what does being a hole and a half or a hole behind mean, and how
This is a great topic.
How that's actually seen. What
Yeah.
does that actually mean? So there's been the amount of time it's happened more often than it hasn't. I reckon 80% of the time that, for example, if I'm in the shop or if the shop phone rings or something like that, and we get a phone call and it's Gary, he's out on in the middle of the 5th fairway,
Yeah.
right, and he's waiting. Hypothetical, is that Rosanna? He's waiting in the middle of the 5th fairway. Group in front of him is on the green. The 6th hole is clear, and the group in front of him is walking down 7. Right. In his eyes, they're a hole behind.
Yeah.
Right. Difference is the group in front of them is a group of 3.
Yeah.
2 of them are sitting in the cart. Right. They're quick. So the group in front of him, and then the first thing we do is check a scorecard.
Yeah.
Are they behind in time? Not
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah.
Not hole.
And
Distance means fuck all.
correct.
It's time. So I look at the time and I'm like, Gary, they're 4 minutes ahead
Of schedule.
of schedule. They're supposed to be, and maybe it's Gary, it's 12 past 9. They're supposed to be on the 6th tee at 18 past 9 and they're putting out, mate. they couldn't be any more on time.
Yeah.
They're perfect.
Yeah.
Just because you might be playing a little bit quicker and you see a gap doesn't mean they're slow.
Yeah, just because you got a quick
So-
group and a kind of average group and then another quick group,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything.
So-
and I'm happy to put my hand up
Yeah, yeah.
and admit that I've been in instances in the past where I have spoken. We played together, right? And I've spoken.
one,
that
yeah.
They were in
By
geography.
distance,
In geography, they were
were.
a hole and a half behind.
absolutely they were.
And the guy, I said to the guys, I'm like, boys, listen, like if you could, right? I never
Yeah.
went and said you're fucking slow. Move
No,
on.
no. You did.
I went about it the right way, and the guy turned around and goes, mate, we're 2 hours through 9 holes.
Yeah, he goes, we played that 9 holes in 2 hours 5. And I'm like,
And I said, and I went, you did.
Yeah,
fair
fair
enough.
enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, carry on about your
Yeah,
business.
sorry. Yeah,
and he was
yeah.
just like, all good.
yeah,
move on.
Yeah, move on. Yeah.
I'm always gonna
Yeah.
not challenge people, but I'm
no.
always gonna push the issue a little bit.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like we're slow, today was slow. Anyway, if I feel like we're slow, I'm gonna look around and see what's happening around me to sort of
yeah.
not point the blame, but find out why.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I'll put my hand up and say I'm wrong
Because-
I'm not afraid.
So when someone says, when we hear a group say, oh, they were a hole and a half behind, that's almost 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's about 15-ish minutes
Yeah.
behind time. That is a lot.
That's
That's
a
a
lot.
long time. And that takes a lot of looking for golf balls and fluffing around the green or having 6 shots in a bunker or something
Yeah.
like that. That takes a lot to fall 15 minutes behind. And don't get me wrong, it happens. It happens every day. And it happens multiple times. However, the idea of going, they were a hole and a half or they were 2 holes behind. Okay, let's check. Let's see the time. Okay, they're 10 minutes behind. Yeah, that's about half a hole. Oh, that's almost a full hole. So yeah, they are behind. Let's get a move on. Especially if you guys are waiting. Then, guys, you're about 10 minutes. Just play this hole quickly, and then you're off, and then you're good.
And again,
but the problem is with that idea is the fact that everyone's told, and it's like a general. Like just the first thing you get told about golf is to keep up with the group in front. So that's why being a hole behind looks worse than it actually is.
Yes.
That's anyway.
Yeah, you're always told to be a shot behind the group in front rather than a shot ahead of the group behind.
Yeah.
That's what you're told.
Yeah. Pretty
right?
much.
But the two things, and I've tried really hard to bring these two things in, is perspective and circumstance. Right? You have to analyze that full before you go and ask people to either play through or hurry up.
Yeah.
So yeah, you take into account, okay, well the group in front of them is actually in carts and they're flying.
Yeah.
And I know who those players are.
Acknowledge the circumstance.
I know who they are,
Yeah.
and they are notoriously quick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they're flying.
Because I've played with them and they're quick.
Yeah,
right? So you just got to take things into account. But
Yeah.
if things go south
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and they're in the shit looking for Jason's ball for ages,
Yeah.
I think it should be just as okay for me to ask to play through as it is for me to tell them that they kind of need to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah. It's just
That's my deal,
every
Mr. President.
factor needs to be accounted for.
Of course.
Within that. So it was like I said, the amount of times I was in the shop that I would check the scorecard going, I wouldn't even go out on course. I'd be like, righto, what hole are they on? Right, where are they exactly? I'm on the phone looking at the scorecard right now because it tells you the times, like the ideal time. Right? And I'm like, where are they exactly right now? And they're like, they are 80 meters off the 7th tee. And the
Walking
group
down the fairway.
the group in front of us, 2 of them have putted out. So I'm like, okay, there's still maybe 90 seconds left for these 2 to putt out right before they get to the next tee, and that's roughly the idea of.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're 4 minutes ahead.
Sorry, nothing I can do.
I'm like,
I'm all for
they're
it.
on time.
I like
so it's like that idea, and like I said, I'm a culprit of it. I'll be out on course, and we're waiting for a group in front, and I'm a fast player, so we're waiting for a group in front, and I notice the group in front of them is well ahead, and same thing. Think of the same thing. I'm like, these guys are slow, and then I check the factors. I'm like, oh, they're not. We're just playing quick.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah. Do you have another one?
nah, that was sort of mine.
Yeah, cool.
Really,
All
that
right,
was
well-
sort of mine. Was touch on yours.
Let's leave it there for dear Mr. President. Let us know, ladies and gents, if you enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a little one, and it just related to the round today because it really stuck in my head today because it was. I don't know if it affected me more than it usually did around the care for the golf course.
Yes.
I don't know why it didn't affect me today, but I really noticed it.
Yes.
And like raking a bunker is like my guilty pleasure. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love seeing it like sort of fluff up and looking all nice and cared for. I don't know what it is. I really like it. I don't know why. I've even offered. I've seriously considered going to offering to the golf club or like David or Dean or something like that. Going, oi, give me like a couple shifts a week for me to go out and just rake bunkers. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. Right? I don't know what it is.
Oh,
But
God.
yeah, for some reason I walked off the golf course going, that really bugged me.
Yeah.
Like it didn't affect the golf.
No.
It just
There's too many
for
things.
some reason I'm like, why is this annoying me so much?
Yeah.
And I just had to go and do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, far out. And the golf god's listening because every bunker I probably hit it into 3 bunkers and had like I said, mentalized and made I made 3 from 3 up and downs. Oh, except 18, but that was in regulations, so it doesn't matter.
That's fine.
So,
Anyway, questions from the second cut, Jolly. Let's wrap this up.
yeah, let's get moving.
My question for you is, and today during my round of golf, I sort of went through a little bit of a slump in terms of motivation. So, started the round off, it was really cold. And so I'm like, ugh, it's cold. Fuck this. And then I just started not swinging it great. So I'm like, there's another
Even
thing.
more.
There's another thing. And then it was, now I'm feeling even tighter in the body. This sucks. Right? So my question, yeah, exactly. Right? My question for you, and it was it was okay. It was worth hanging around for. It was a beautiful afternoon to finish
Yeah,
up.
it was nice.
Right?
Actually. Yeah.
But my question for you is, do you have a trick or a method to get yourself out of a motivation slump whilst you're in the middle of a round?
100%.
Yeah.
The result.
The result.
100%.
Yeah.
If I get there and already like even like, no, don't get me wrong, we're all human.
Yeah.
Even the top dogs, if they're going out to play St Andrews and play a British Open and it's blowing 90 k's an hour and pissing,
Yeah.
they're not going, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
They're going, fuck. Like even them.
This is gonna
right?
suck.
So we're all human. They're going, this is gonna suck. However, everyone's wired different, of course, but my thought process is my motivation is the result. So even this morning, I got up and I'm like, I am so cold. This sucks. I want to be in a sauna right now because
Yeah.
I'm so cold.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I'm like, no, I don't like. No, I want to be warm. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I would rather be cold and buckle down and put the head down to produce a good result than to be cold and shitty about the golf.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? It's like a mentality where it's like, no. I'm gonna make sure I lock in here to
Of course.
produce a good result rather than go fuck everything else because it's cold and I'm tired and sore. So it's more like it's almost like a trick to go for your mind to go back to basics and just get it done. That's all. That's all. I don't know how.
See,
much,
for me,
I don't know how different to explain it.
And I've been in this scenario time and time again.
Yeah.
Right? And we've long discussed the old, he wants to go home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was last year. This
It's
is this year.
improved a lot.
It's different.
It's come.
right?
It's up. It's worlds above now.
100%. So for me, I tend to, and it tends to coincide with the score not necessarily going the way I would like it to. So
It's from the start.
It's a snowball effect. We're cold, we're tired, we're sore, we're not swinging it great, shit scores.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I try and flip it on its head and just go,
I actually think the mentality, not for yourself, but for the general population, is the opposite.
yeah.
The score's not great, and here's why.
Today was exactly how I explained it.
Okay.
We're cold, we're sore, we're not hitting it
Yeah.
great.
So-
and it resulted in bad
Fair
scores,
enough.
right?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Other times it has been the opposite way
Yeah,
around
yeah,
where
yeah.
it's like, this sucks, I'm not playing well.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's sore and we're tired.
Yeah.
and it's cold.
Yeah.
Right?
It's easy to do. It's easy to do. Yeah.
But today it was going down that track and I kind of tried to snap out of it early enough. I was probably a little bit too late. And I kept saying to myself, right, just at the very least enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you can't bring it back together, if you can't swing it any better, if you're still sore, if the body's not great and the score's not great, cool. Who cares? What are the consequences? Nothing, really.
No.
Right? At the very least, just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Try.
Yeah.
And enjoy
At
yourself.
least.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Make it worthwhile.
Try something you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've like not you haven't thrown it away, but
Oh.
try, like, if you've got a shot that you're like, nah, I'm not. That's not going to work. I'm just going to bump out. No, fuck that. Just go for the hero. Just try it.
I got a
Why
story.
not? You got
I got a
nothing to
story for you.
lose.
Literally,
here we go.
right? The second hole, right? Par 3, 155 from the blacks to the back left corner. Wind hard off the right shoulder. And I'm like, I'm going to try and hit like a little knockdown 6-iron that cuts and it'll ride the
Like
wind
hold.
and it'll hold up against the wind and it should be okay. Double crossed it. Not double crossed it. The wind just got it and pushed it left.
Yeah.
And I'm in like the hazard area.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's all red stake through there.
Yeah.
So I find the pill and I'm like, I can actually play this. So I decide to play it. Take this little, and I've got like a tree. I'm looking at the flag. Right? I've got a tree directly in front of me, just off to the right. Right? But I've got like an avenue to hit it through. It's so skinny though. Right? So skinny. And the flag's like right there. And I'm like, all right, well, aim there and hit it. See what happens.
Yeah.
Take this 9-iron out, chop down on it, and it comes out low, pitches into the bank, rolls to 3 feet past. And I'm like, that's the shot of the day.
Yeah, you're like,
Right?
nailed it.
And I'd been fucking upset because I made double bogey on 1 before that, and I was just pissy and crap. And Andrew goes, that'll pick up the spirits. And I'm like, yeah. Drain the par putt. I'm like,
Beautiful.
oh, should have had a 7.
Yeah.
Right? Should have had a 7, honestly. Because I didn't even hit a provisional off the tee box.
Oh,
I'm like,
it's
it's out of bounds over there. Like it's hazard. So it's just
That's-
lost ball.
it's hazard,
Just
yeah,
drop
so-
one down there.
Yeah.
Right? It's not out of bounds. It's
You were
hazard.
taking lateral. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, just drop one down there. Don't hit a provy. And then I find it and I hit it and I'm like,
It's a
oh.
pretty special up and down.
I'm like,
It's
yeah.
pretty
it was,
groovy up and down.
It was by far and away the best up and down I've made in 2 years. And I'm just like, it just flipped the switch. I'm like, all right, let's go play the
Yeah,
next two.
we're on.
Let's go
Yeah,
play the next 2
yeah.
holes, have a beer, and let's call it a day.
See what I mean? That little result based is like my motivation before it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like today, like I get to the golf course. I didn't get a good sleep last night, unfortunately. Like
Neither.
it's not. It didn't. You know,
It helps.
I just didn't sleep great.
It
right?
doesn't help.
Oh well, and it doesn't at all. Right, and you know, I've never been so cold. Like waking up, like before I've gotten dressed and before I'm getting ready.
Hate it.
I've never been so cold in my life. I don't know what it was. I don't know if we left the freezer open. I don't know. It was
Someone left the air conditioning on
it
outside.
was an iceberg in the house, and I was so cold, right? And even still, I get to the range, and I'm sort of just. I get to the range, and I was with the old boy and Remy, and we're just sort of hitting it out there. And I wasn't really. I didn't give a fuck where the ball went. I
Yeah.
was just trying to get the blood moving, and I had 16 million jackets on, and anyway. And it was still the idea of like the result based of me going, I'm not having a bad score today.
Oh, okay.
Disregard whether I'm cold
Okay.
or I'm tired. It doesn't matter. I'm not having a bad score. That
Yep.
was the motivation to get out of the idea
That
of
slump.
maybe something hurts, or
Yeah.
maybe it's cold, or maybe I'm hungry, or maybe I'm tired.
It was
it's
weird
it's the
because-
sheer motivation that overrides it all.
Yeah.
It must be. It might be a built-in thing that people are
was-
still trying to work towards.
It was so weird because, like, yeah, it was cold and yeah, the body wasn't great.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, I'm not swinging it that good. But then all of a sudden, my jumper that I've worn for the last 2 years and it fits perfectly,
Yeah.
feels a bit more snug.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, I can't fucking.
Yeah. Now it's.
I'm just like, is this
Yeah,
restricting me?
yeah,
So like 3 holes in, it's freezing cold. I'm like, jumpers off, fuck it, right? And I'm like, maybe that'll change, and it didn't really. But like,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things. But yeah, it's a weird thing.
That's
and
to answer your
that's
question.
the next step.
Yeah.
And I'm going to speak when we do get Remy back in here, because that's the plan.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak to him a little bit about. We're going to try and speak to him a little bit about like the mental side of golf, because he's put a lot of effort into his.
He listens and reads a lot of stuff about mentalities, whether it's with golf or not. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But he's great with that sort of stuff.
I've started reading a book called Fearless Golf by a sports psych who's over in the States, worked with like Davis Love III and all that kind of, and a bunch of other players as well, and talking about different concepts that he's got about teaching golfers to play fearless golf,
Yeah.
right? Because ultimately that's what we're worried about is fear. Fear is the biggest.
The feel of messing up.
The fear of screwing up in front of your mates, the fear of hitting it out of bounds, the fear of, not shooting your best score ever, the fear of losing majors, whatever it might be, right? There's always fear.
Yeah.
And it's opened my eyes a little bit to a few things. And I think in that instance today on 2, when I'm in the hazard, there was definitely a fear of, well, this could go really bad.
Yeah,
Like this could go worse.
the fear of the big number. It's almost
Correct.
like you fear it into existence. It's like if you manifest the bad, it's going to happen.
But and by that stage of the round, I was like, well, you're not going to shoot 7 under through the next 3 holes before you finish to play to your handicap or less, whatever it might be.
Whatever, maybe, yeah.
So have a crack. Give it a go.
hit it.
Try this. See if it works.
Just hit it.
But yeah, and it worked. So
It's like a calculated guess sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like this is going to get the ball out. Whether it tumbles up, I don't know.
and honestly, right, a phrase that your old man has put in our vocabulary a lot came into mind when I'm in there, right? I just go, watch this.
Watch
ass.
this. Watch this ass.
And it came off hot off the face. I'm like, oh,
Sometimes the old boy, he could be in the deepest of deep gumbies,
yeah.
right in the absolute haggis. And I'm like, you've got no shot. He's like, yeah, watch this ass. Right. And then you see the ball. You're like, what the? And he's like looking at it going, I'm like, you're an idiot. So
Have you got a question
like
for
I
me,
said,
mate?
to answer your question, that's like maybe it's a built-in thing or maybe it's a learned, maybe it's an acquired skill. I don't know.
Find something that you enjoy or that you can use as motivation to combat the slump.
Yeah. Even
For
if
you,
you've-
it's
if you-
results. For me, it's enjoyment. For others,
exactly.
it could be.
if you've lost if your mentality, if you've lost the round of golf already before you've started, even a couple holes in because of your mentality of external factors.
Yeah.
Find something, and like I said, mine's a result, yours is enjoyment.
Yeah.
Find something, just find it, and that will combat everything else.
Absolutely.
it will. So
Very good.
anyway,
Your question.
would you rather?
We haven't had a would you rather for a while.
Haven't we?
No. It's,
So-
it's, I reckon it's been 5 or 6 weeks.
Really?
Dead set.
Jeez. This one relates to my little rant earlier, and it's a very simple one.
Yep.
It's a very simple would you rather. Would you rather be in a footprint or a bunker or an unsanded divot in the fairway?
Unsanded divot in the fairway.
Really?
Yes.
Right.
I think.
Like I'm talking unsanded, dude. Like
Yeah.
this ball's below the surface,
Oh.
which a divot is.
Yeah. How far below the surface?
Yeah, it's a divot.
It's a divot. I would. Yeah. Still
Half
rather.
the ball is below the surface.
Yeah, I'd still rather that because the one piece of advice I got about playing out of divots is to make the divot bigger,
Yeah.
right?
Which
So
what's that mean?
It gets steeper and actually
Which means
compressing the ball a little bit. Hit ball first,
depth.
right? And so I feel like I would have more confidence being able to do that because I generally am a steeper player in my swing, rather than trying to literally and it could go anywhere. You're in the fairway, it could go anywhere out of that divot. Whereas if you're in a bunker in a footprint, you're generally going to be greenside, so you have a finer margin of error and a smaller landing space. If I'm 180 out in a divot and I'm trying to knock down, like just get steep on a 4-iron, it goes where it goes. I'll figure it out from there. But if I'm greenside in Bigfoot's footprint, right, and it could be in the heel and there's a big clump behind it, and I've got to try and hit through the clump to get to the ball to put it on the frigging green and stop it.
Don't hate it.
You know what I mean? It just seems like a lot more can go wrong in that scenario. All right, so what's the worst thing that happens? You thin one out of the divot or you fat it.
Yeah. It still goes forward. And you
Still goes forward, and you probably still got another shot to make up for
Don't mind it. Don't mind it at
whatever
all.
shit situation you were in. That's where I would go with it.
I don't have an answer for it because my dear Mr. President is taking care of that. Yeah. So I don't have an answer for it. Yeah, right.
No.
I kind of knew you'd go with that.
Yeah.
It's just it's the two main complaining ideas of the general public of
Yes.
or the general demographic of a golf club is I'm in a divot or I'm in a footprint. Like which would you rather? What's
6
worse?
months 6 months ago, I would have heavily gone. I don't want to go anywhere near footprints in the bunker. But I feel like my bunker play at the moment, and you and I, after that 45-second lesson,
Yeah, that's good.
I feel like it's come a long way. Like my bunker game is quite strong at the
See,
moment.
The thing about that was it wasn't even we didn't touch anything about your swing, anything about even your stance. Like we didn't touch anything. It was literally just like No, you need to touch more knowledge. It was
Yeah.
just to understand what the wedge actually does.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
That's all it was.
We didn't change anything.
Nah.
And it was the same thing with
we changed one thing.
tiny.
The swing path was different.
Tiny.
But it was more just understanding what the conditions are when I'm in there.
Yeah.
And how to determine
Yeah.
how to play that
Like
shot.
not to be one dimensional. That was
Correct.
the same. That was the exact same with Michael.
Correct.
It's like when you go into bunker, no, you don't open the face every time.
Correct.
If anything, you try to avoid.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
The more you're opening the face, the harder the shot generally is.
Absolutely.
In
And
with
so-
respect to If I have to open the face a lot, I've got a harder shot. I feel.
Yeah. I agree.
Sort of.
The room for error
Sort of.
is thinner.
But to be in a bunker, it means you're not supposed to be rewarded by going into a bunker. Sometimes it is the best play if you're in the shit, but going into a bunker, you're not be like, beautiful, this is a scoring chance. No, going to a bunker is not.
it's supposed to be
not a reward.
It's supposed to be a challenge.
So if you get out of it and make up and down, hats off to you.
Yeah.
If you don't, well, you didn't deserve to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You hit
'Cause
it in
you
the bunker.
hit it in the
You hit
bunker.
it in the bunker. So if you don't get up and down and you shoot and you make 5 for 1, don't hit it in the bunker. Anyway, so
But no, I feel like now with where my bunker game's at the moment,
Yeah.
if I was presented that instance where I am in a footprint,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I got the tools now to
yeah,
actually
to at least.
yeah, and I'm not afraid to not aim at the flag in that instance. If it makes more sense for me to swing through the footprint, like down from the heel to the toe of the footprint, fair enough.
Do it. Yeah.
If I got to hit it out sideways,
however it presents it to you.
if I got to go backwards or sideways or hit a Phil Mickelson shot over my head, which I can't do, then if whatever the best option is for me is that's it. Let's go with that. But yeah,
There you go.
ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to leave it there, Jolly.
Yeah, let's
that's,
tidy it
that's
up,
a good spot.
Let's leave it there.
I've just had a look at the footy scores. You're not going to enjoy it. Carlton's playing right now.
No, see, this is fine. No, see, this is my strat to divert for 2 seconds. This
Yeah.
is my strat. I tip again. I just looked at it again as well. I tip. So this is weird. I tip against Carlton every week,
Yeah,
right? If we win, I'm happy
because you won.
because we won. If we lose, I won my tip. So it's like a win-win-ish.
No, it's not.
It's like a win-win-lose.
It's a
Win, lose, win.
Win, lose, win.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
So
It's not
at
great.
at the moment, I'm looking at the
Because you know
scores.
what's better?
No.
When you tip your team and,
And they win. Shut up. Right. But so at the moment, I'm looking at that going, we suck.
Yeah.
It's Adelaide in Adelaide, and they're
And you're
They're a
33
great
points
team.
down at halftime.
yeah, it's
Five
five
goals.
It's 5 goals, which is a lot of work to do considering we haven't even kicked 4 yet. Right.
Carlton suck.
Right. However, by the looks of it, I'll win my tip. So I'm fine. So I'm content.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in this week. Be sure to head down and subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button. It does us wonders. I have placed the order for head covers. So if you if you are wanting, if you have gotten in touch and ordered one, the order has been processed
Beautiful.
at the time of listening.
Can't wait.
So it's going to be good. We will be getting in touch with you all in terms of finances.
Yeah.
And we'll be going from there. But no, thank you for everyone who's shown their interest in the head covers. It really does mean a lot to us because it means that people want to get the product out there and the
Dude.
logo out there is more than anything, really. So we really do appreciate it. But no, ladies and gentlemen, hit the subscribe button, head over to Spotify, follow us there, leave a 5-star review. Instagram and TikTok do the same thing. Please check out a few of our clips from previous weeks. Guest hopefully coming up soon. You're off to WA in a week or so, but we're going to have another,
Week after.
we're going to have another episode, 66 you're here for, and then you're off after that.
Yeah, it'll be something like that. Yeah, it'll be something like that.
We'll,
That's not for long. That's only for 4
we're going to
days,
be,
but still.
we're going to be pre-recording and possibly getting people in to fill your
something.
place like we have done in the past. So yeah.
Hopefully not too often, but maybe,
No.
Maybe,
We're not going to do it too often, but it is a nice reassurance to know that we've got a
It's a little
large
bit of
number of people that can sit in that chair and do
that
it.
are more than happy to.
More than happy
We've
to.
had a lot of people offer.
Yes.
which is even better. We haven't had to chase, so
Yes,
that's good.
it's nice to know as well. It's comforting. But otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, hit them very, very well. Enjoy your golf, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.